Shashi, just this side. Can you please repeat one more time, like what are the steps you have done?
So I know I confused you all because of some typo and other things. I'll make it very simple, okay? Because I was trying to do more to so more thing. That's why I added a lot of code and some typo happened and all. Okay, so I'll make it very clean and healthy now. So I have a preference. Say I have a consent form. Okay, I have this full page. What I have done is I have changed from this full consent form, I have segregated the HTML into two parts. Hmm. One into the form and another one with the HTML tag. Okay. So what I do is I simply copy this. Hmm. And I go back and here in the landing page, okay, I'm going to paste this code. Is that clear? So here in my cloud page will look like this. Okay. So I'll have an HTML tag, I'll have a head tag, I have the metadata tag, and I have the style. Okay. So this style is coming from a CDN. You can have this CSS from your code resource as well. Okay. So you can have this CSS from your code resource as well here, and you just have a body tag. Okay. And inside the body, inside a div, I have called a content block. Okay. Now I don't have the content block, so it will just give you a blank page. Hmm. So I publish this. I don't have anything because here this issue is coming because this content block is not present. Okay. So for this, let's say if I say content block by key, now you see this. Now let's go in a very traditional way. Hmm. So content by key, and here says external key as a content block, that is this one. Okay, which the this is one is the which content block I'm calling. This is the first parameter. Second one is the name of the impression that you want to start. Okay, so if I have to say name of the impression, I'll say this is a consent form. Okay, so I add consent form. So this is impression tagging. I'm saying which particular block I had called. Okay, so for tracking purposes, this can be leveraged. Now third one is a boolean. Hmm. It says determine if you don't have that content block that you're calling. Currently, I don't have this content block created, so it is throwing an error. Okay, so it determines and returns an error if there is a issue. Hmm. By default, a value of true returns on an error. Okay, a value of false return does not return an error and defaults to true. So by default, it is true. Hmm. So if I have to make it false, okay, and what I'll do is false is 0, okay, and a string default content, okay, return if an error occurs. So if any error occurs, I have to do a default. So I add up a string and I say simply say error occurred. Hmm. Don't go by the spelling, and numeric is output a parameter. Okay, for the status call, what is happening? A value of 0 indicates the function was found in the content area and it was successfully rendered. If that content was found, you'll get 0. Okay, and a value of 1 indicates if there is an error. What I'll do is let me create a return value AMPScript variable, and I say var, okay, at the rate status. Hmm. STATUS status spelling right, है ना? Uh, Don't laugh at my spellings, okay? Because I'm little nervous today. Okay, so I do this. Hmm. And now what I can do here is, okay, let's print the status as well for you people to understand. V and stop me if you people don't understand, okay? and I do this status. So I don't have that content block I have created till now. Okay, I haven't created anything as such here. If I show you the content block, this is full empty. Hmm. So this is what I've done. I've saved this. So if I do it, hmm, actually you're mitigating the error. So you haven't built the content block, right? So I can do this, or I can simply if I have to do this properly, I'll do this. एक p tag बना दिया. Hmm. And inside this p tag, I say, okay, you can add CSS and other things as well. Error occurred, and you can show in a black and blue and whatever. So if I do this, see this error occurred, or make it very more beautiful is handling. This is how you should actually handle your content block. Okay, content block not found. I was printing this just to show you if this is rendering correctly or not. So if I do this, Achal, are you following me? Because see, I'm starting from the start
Yes, yes,
because I want to make you all understand. Okay, because
yes, yes,
initially I was trying to do more things, that's why we got lost somewhere. So you see, content block not found.
yes.
Now I don't want to publish this, just I want to make sure everything is working correctly. So I go to content block. Okay, you can create code snippet as well, which is okay, but since I'm dealing with HTML, I'm going with HTML. I just copy the form. I want to copy this. I pasted this. What was the name of the consent form? Was consent form. Okay. I copy this, and when I'm saving, okay, I want to keep this as by name. Okay. I can't change the ID. So name and customer key, I'm keeping this as a consent form. Now let me save this. Okay. I created this form. If I save this once, let's save this. And if I do a preview, now let's see what happens. See, now the form is getting rendered. Following me, Achal?
Yes, 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 yes.
Now you see this return. This return I was just showing you whether true or false. Whether this numeric value, if it is already there, is coming. Okay. अगर घुमा देते हैं और घुमाएंगे. ठीक है. If I made a typo, consent form 1, and let's save this. Let's schedule. See the difference? Now basically it's not landing into 500 error or something. It is now showing you properly. Okay, so you can do this right into offset and into a data extension. So this is understood. I'm cleaning this up. I'm cleaning this
Shashi,
up now.
just
Hmm.
one quick request. What I can see, what I wanted to know, let's say in future, if we change the form name, like it's now consent form. If we change the name of
Hmm.
that form, is it also going to change the external key also, or is it going to be the always same?
Come again. I didn't understood your question.
So like we are using here, we are referencing to consent form, right? And that is the name of
Hmm.
that form, the content block which you have created. Let's say in future
Hmm.
someone has changed the name of this consent form, so now we are using the external key, right? So is it going also
Let's
going to
say
change?
you want to change the customer key.
No, what I wanted to see is
No,
if
name
someone
of the
change,
block.
yeah, if we change the
Hmm?
name of the block, is it going to change the name of change the customer key also? If we change the name of the just
Okay. 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 So I say this as a name. Let's save
Yeah.
this. Why should this be changed? I don't
yeah, just
understand.
a second. I was thinking it is going to use it. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, if see, I have this one. Instead of consent by key, now I'm just changing this by this. So you are using consent form. Okay. There is no name called consent form. I have made it consent form name. Hmm. Now you see this. If you use this by name, I'll copy this name. Okay. And I change this one, this. And I schedule this. Now it should render properly. Okay, maybe something is wrong. Consent by name, content area by name, content area by name. Hmm. So name of the content area to return. Again, you ask a question and goes everything in vain. I don't know. Hmm. Content area by name होना चाहिए. His name तो सही है, but block something is not. Okay, I go with ID. Okay, because I don't want to इधर उधर key में जाके ना. I don't want to make myself trouble or get confused myself. But it will basically work. Content area by name, yeah, content area by name, there is some difference. Content block by, because okay, I got it. खुद ही confused हो जाओ तो area है, क्योंकि this area was for classic content. Okay, this is content block. This is not a classic content. You can, so that's why now this by name. See this now, Sumit.
Yeah,
Okay.
great.
Oh, to clarify once again, this two content area is for classic content now, which is already been what you say, it is already been obsolete. That's why these functions are not working. Okay, these are all for consent block. So that's why if I do by the name, so I have to go by content block by name, not area. If you want to do by the ID as well, copy this. This is by ID. Okay, and what is the ID here? This is the ID. I copy this ID and I add it here. So let's see, ID is a string or numeric. Okay, so ID is a numeric, it's not a string. And let's do this. Working fine, right? So if I add a typo, say 1, and you see this. So this error occurred. Understood?
Yes, we cannot change the IDs, right? It is once created, we cannot change it, right? Like we can
ID.
change the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't change the ID. This,
Got
you see this here, you don't have the edit option. You can edit this. You have this edit option when you come here. You can see this. Okay, you have this edit. And you can edit. But ID is unique. You can't edit it.
Great. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I was saying. That's why I was saying. You have hit the right chord. That's why I was saying always go by the key if using it. Always go by the key. So you can change anytime anything. Yeah, right. So if requirement changes or something, it's better you go by the key and reference it everywhere across different business units once you share the code snippet. Till now, everything is clear for everyone, or I can go forward now.
Yes, yes.
Lakshmi, what you were saying?
No, it's not me.
It's Swapna. I said yes, yes.
Going back, so I had this lookup, this one, okay, and I said request parameter, and I'll copy this. So I'm creating another content block. I'm
Shashi,
saying you why this is.
yeah, sorry to interrupt. Can we create it as a code snippet instead of HTML type?
Yeah, we can do that. I'll explain what is the difference between code snippet and content block. Okay, what happens if I do with a content block and what I do with the HTML. So I'll just try to hard code this just for simple understanding, because I don't want to confuse, or I myself not want to get confused now. So here, instead of request parameter, I'm hard coding this. Okay, so for Sasi, it will go and look at the master consent data extension and fetch the records. So here, what I'll do is I'll add this as a lookup HTML. Okay, to make it HTML and content block, I'm lookup. Oh, somebody will feel again. Lookup HTML spelling sahi hona chahiye. So I'm doing this. Okay, I'm saving this. Now the question that was asked. Okay, so I'll copy the same thing now. This one. Let me copy the full thing. I'll remove the treat as content. So why head and why that will, let me try to explain that as well. So I'm simply removing this. And I don't require extra this. Okay, and this form name HTML. Be this. Let's change this to this. Say, try to save it. So this is not consent. This is a lookup. So इसको भी change कर लेते हैं tracking के लिए. Let's see. Sasi's details get rendered or not. So you see Sasi. Okay. Now if I simply modify this one to xyz@gmail.com, here I have hard coded this. Okay, and let me make this as xyz.com. Okay, and I save this, and what I do, let me publish this. Okay, and what else, copy this in the edge of that is it doesn't have. So this is xyz.com. Okay, now let's go back and modify it to Sasi. Okay, and here I'm changing this to Sasi. Hmm. So I'm just simply changing in the this particular content block. Save it. Okay, save, and let's refresh this. So it's coming for Sasi. See the difference? I'm not going and publishing the cloud page again and again. So I don't have that issue of changing something, right? So here, instead of saying email, they said, no, no, it should not be email, it should be email address. So for if I have to make that label change, I'll simply change this is to email address. Okay. So if I have to, if I'm doing everything, all this form into the cloud base, I have to republish it again and again. But if I do use the this content block, okay, I simply do save, saved. Okay. Let's go this. Let's refresh this. See, this changed. Following me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Very important thing is, now I'll show you something is for the checkbox, what I've used, this one. Okay. WhatsApp consent checked, WhatsApp SMS consent checked. These are AMPScript variables. Okay. And here in this lookup, where's that lookup? Yeah, lookup. So in this lookup, I'll go back here. Where's that lookup? Was consent form AMPScript, right? So let's go slow. So for this, okay, for Sasi, email consent, I'm capturing it as true, SMS consent as true, and WhatsApp consent as false. And for that, what I did, I captured this into email consent, SMS consent, and WhatsApp consent, which is giving me true, true, true. Okay. And what I added here was, if I have to make it true, it basically shows you how it shows you is check, check, check. Okay. If this is email consent is true, then it is checked. If SMS consent is true, then it's checked. If this is true, then this is checked. Okay. So for me, here I had only the WhatsApp consent at false. So you see, WhatsApp consent is false. Okay. And if I have to go back and see for XYZ, okay, what is XYZ is email. Oh, this is the same. Okay, let me edit this. So I'll make the email consent false. Okay. And only the SMS consent is true for XYZ. This is Sumit, by the way. And I'll copy this and I'll modify this to Sumit. Okay. Let's save this. And let's refresh this. See, SMS consent. Okay. And if I have to do the inspect, you'll see what is happening here is, if I just see the SMS one, again, SMS, okay, you see this is checked and value equals to true. And you see this one, email consent. Okay, so for email consent, value is email consent value is false. Okay, there is no check. So that's why when you want to use the check boxes, this you have to make the changes. That's why I said make the checkbox check. So this is the other one which I was talking about, and